Well, Aunt Mott, got a question for you. Uh, I have a. I just want to talk to you about Mom a little bit. Is that all right? Uh, I know. I was surprised when at her funeral I found out she was an alcoholic, and Rosemary said, "Yeah, she's been an alcoholic for a long time." So, well, I didn't know that. I knew she'd have a little drink, but I didn't know she was an alcoholic. There's all these things I found out about her, and I just didn't have any clue as to that stuff going on. But my picture of Mom and Dad, they weren't very happy in their marriage. And from what I understand, Mom wanted to leave Dad early on, but Granddaddy wouldn't let her do it or something. What's the story with that?
Well, she said she wasn't happy and she wanted to leave. That's the only thing we ever knew.
Yeah, but that was correct, and that's what I heard then. Yeah, well, I found out that Dad had a marriage before Mom,
Yeah.
and she died of an aneurysm
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, and I was surprised to find that out. I was finding out all these things. And so I just wanted to dig into this stuff a little bit and understand them a little bit more. And uh, I remember the story about Granddaddy and the black man coming in and getting shot and that stuff, but I just didn't know too much about Mom and Dad. I remember Mom went to work for that chiropractor. I can't remember his name down there. But Dad was real jealous of that guy, and he was always saying something about him rubbing her. And so I knew that he was jealous.
Yeah.
And she worked there for a while, but because of his pressure, I guess she quit. But yeah, she just struck me as being a very unhappy person, and it just ruined her health in the long run, it looked like. So,
Some issues.
yeah. Yeah, and I guess in a way I appreciate them staying together just for the sake of the family. But at the same time, I think it just destroyed her. Her health just went down, and she never got over it.
No, she never did, but she was in bad shape.
Yeah, and it looked to me like that expression, "You die of a broken heart." That's what I felt like happened with her, literally. So yeah, I remember some things. I had some pictures. There's 3 pictures. Yeah, it was. You or Mama took them, I guess, but Rosie was still in diapers, and me and Hal, my little buddy down the road, it rained and there was this big puddle left in the yard, and Rosie got in it, and you could see her running and getting wet, and then you'd see her diaper around her knees, and then the last picture where she was holding them up like this, buck naked. I remember seeing those pictures, but I don't know whatever happened to them. But I'd love to get it. I'd love to get my hands on those. Yeah. But I remember seeing those, and it just made me sad that they've been lost or something.
Shirley might have those.
She might. I'm gonna check with her when I go down on some stuff. But yeah, I remember playing hand grenades with your eggs and then getting switched on the shoulders. And I at the time, it was awful. But I know why you did it. You guys that's part of your income was selling those eggs. There was ruining your crop. So, but yeah, I remember I never was switched on my shoulders before. That's what I remember so vividly. Usually Dad would get his belt and grab me by the arm and hang me up and whip my butt.
Yeah.
But and I remember begging him not to spank me and just begging him, but he whipped me anyway. I remember one time he broke his belt on me.
Oh, no.
Well, he'd out cutting down this old tree that was mostly stump, but it was probably about 8 feet tall. But anyway, it fell over. It hit the dog or something. And the dog went over and bit Dad. And I just thought it was funny. And Dad got hold of his belt and it started whipping on me. Maybe it was just an old belt, but it broke in half. So he made me go home, walk home, and bring him a new one. And on the way home, it was a funny feeling. I was kind of half laughing because his belt broke, and then crying because it hurt like the dickens. It was a funny feeling.
Well, they used to fight with belts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the first. You did something wrong. It was the belt right off the bat. And I just, because that's the way I raised up. That's how I started disciplining my kids, and then I quickly got out of that because Robin helped me see there's a better way to discipline the children, And so I tried to use the belt as a last resort, just open defiance,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But we just got out of that altogether, and they turned out pretty good. I left at Donovan because he was telling me his idea of success in raising up his child was he didn't end up being a drug addict and he wasn't in jail.
There you go.
And I said, well, that's pretty good. I like that definition. So that's about where I am. I don't understand their politics, but because we raised them up, we taught them Christian values and we taught them about the Constitution.
Yeah.
And here they are voting for Biden. I said, oh, what?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Let's see, I guess we didn't do a very good idea of conveying what they were doing, but because I grew up, with communism, knowing all about communism,
Yeah.
I could see what they were doing. They were building walls to keep people in, not keep people out, and they would go in a place and cause this unrest, and that was their
Well,
off-standard operation.
and that's not taught in school anymore. A
No,
lot of times.
no, it's all Marxism, form of
Yeah.
Marxism that's being taught
Yeah.
in schools nowadays. And so they snuck into the school system, and
Yeah.
they always made fun of McCarthy because he was seeing communists everywhere, but he was right. It looked like,
Yeah.
and so it's too late now. I don't know. You're going to have to get rid of the National Education Association and all the teachers unions, and change all the people and get good people in there that even begin to have any kind of a good effect.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the family, and I remember going down to see Granddaddy, and I'd see the stuff that he did, and I would be tickled, like him talking back to Grandma. And you couldn't hear it. He made sure you couldn't hear it. Yeah. Well, I always look forward to going down there. One of the things I remember was your green Jello salad that you made. She made that green Jello with pineapple and cream cheese, and she'd whip it
Yeah,
up.
but she might get that strawberry for me.
Yeah,
And
that was good
pecans.
too.
And she put pecans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I had never had any made like that since then.
I made some a couple of times years ago, but hadn't made any because of my diabetes. But
Yeah.
I really loved that. And you made some of the best fruit cake
Oh, yeah.
I ever tasted.
She sold those a lot.
And
Fruitcakes.
so did you make that or did you buy those?
No, Mama made them.
Mother made them.
Your mother made them. Oh, so it was Grandma Grace that made those. Oh, well, those are really good fruit cakes. All the ones I've had that are store bought are like gummy,
Yeah.
Well, Mama made
and they were just like real cake.
Yeah.
It was the dark
Mama.
cake, and
Yeah,
then,
Mama made those.
yeah.
Mama's mama.
She made a lot of money doing it too.
Well, I didn't know that. See, that's why I'm asking questions,
Yeah.
so I can get some of the straight. I thought you'd made them, but I'm glad I got that straightened out.
Yeah, Mother made them.
Yeah, all I remember about her was she was just a real old lady, and she just did. I guess she didn't. You know, when you're old, you don't have a lot of energy. Or
Yeah. Now, no, you think about Mama Grace.
yeah, Mama Grace is who I'm talking about.
No, her mama was Malma Thomas.
Malma.
Yeah, Malma is.
Oh, yeah. No,
yeah.
I'm talking about.
No,
No, I'm sorry. I'm getting confused.
that's okay. Grand Thomas made.
Grand Thomas made the cakes.
Cakes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I thought.
She looks a lot like her though.
Well,
That's who- yeah.
I'm just old and I can't think.
That's
My,
okay.
my daughter says that.
That's alright.
So anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to get all this straight. And
Mother sold fruitcakes a lot.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, whenever you're coming up through the depression like they did, you ended up having to do a lot of things
Yeah.
just to get by. And so I'm pretty sure that's one of the things, reason why they did that.
Sit on her run.
Yeah.
Who?
Granny.
Oh. Yeah.
Somebody's talking to us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that that's one of the biggest memories I had was the fruitcake. Oh, you remember they had a big family party and all your kids were there and one of Jack's boys, I think, was it Mark? He got a hold of rum balls. He was just big enough to reach over the table and get a rum ball and eat it. And they had to hide him from him there because he's starting to get loopy with the rum balls.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Mark lives out in New Orleans, isn't it?
Hmm?
Mark lives in New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost all touch with your side of the family. Besides, I just know you and Pat, and the rest of the family just gone. Yeah.
Not many left.
Well, I remember Jack had some health problems, and then he died. And I don't know what's the sterile Harold or any of them. I don't know what ever happened to any of the rest of them.
Well, Harold passed away.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, I figured it.
Hadn't been long.
Yeah.
Because he'd come up to his cabin up in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
And we'd go up there and see him. He'd
Yeah.
stop by here. Then
Yeah.
he got sick in a quick time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. And Fraser and Anita had been gone for a while.
Yeah.
And I was always scared of Anita. I don't know, she scared me to death. I don't remember why, but she always seemed to be mad to me or something. I don't know,
No, she's like that to everybody.
so anyway, I steered clear of her. Yeah, I remember one time I was down at Fraser's house there on the lake, and I was, using the bathroom. Of course, you close the door,
Yeah.
going number one, and my cousin Beth just opened the door and walked in.
Oh Lord.
And she caught me standing there, and all I could hear was ha 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 ha, one end of the house to the other. I could hear her. It seemed like she laughed forever.
Yeah.
But I was so embarrassed. But I remember going down to that lake and riding in Fraser's boat. He had a nice inboard motorboat. And
then he got that pontoon boat.
yeah, he did. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got a pontoon boat.
Yeah, that was a nice little lake too. That
Yeah.
was that. What was the name of
Crooked
that? Crooked Lake. Yeah, Crooked Lake. I used to know the name of it. That's the reason why I'm doing all this stuff now. I can get all this back in my
about
mind.
here lately, but they made you clean up around the whole lake, because Fraser had a way you went down to the other end of the lake, built a house down there.
Yeah, I remember Beth was swimming with me, and oh, look at this. Hang on. Lamar's handing me. You're doing ancestry, huh? Yeah. I was doing my heritage. Well, hello, we're going to have to do some talking. I'm going to set this down here. All right, let's see. Let me take a look here. You got, all right, there's George and Martha, and then there's Jack and everybody, and Lauren.
Daddy,
No, is it Rose Malma or Malma Rose?
Malma.
Malma Rose, okay. Uh, well, friend, we're going to have to exchange genealogies. Now, you know, I did a DNA thing.
Yeah.
You know, did you do the DNA thing?
No,
But-
not yet.
I found out that I thought we were just English, you know, pretty much. Because that's all I could do is trace my genealogy back to England. But I found out we're English and Scottish, but mostly we're Irish, or at least my blood was. We're about the same amount as Irish as if you combine the English and the Scottish.
Really?
Yeah, so I can claim I'm Irish now. Because of it.
I'm Irish on both sides.
Just one of those things where I just never knew.
Yeah.
I always figured that we were something else. Now, can you do one of those things where you, I don't know, do some kind of, what you call it? I don't know how you call it, but it's where you download stuff.
Yeah, I could probably.
I know, like if you do a spreadsheet or you do a CSV,
Uh-huh.
and I know there's something equivalent to that when you're doing the genealogy. There's a way to export and import GEDCOM files.
Right.
So yeah, I'd love to get some of this now. Let me see. You got William N. Thomas and Cora D. Thomas and Mary A. Oh, you have Dolly Nail?
Yeah, I think it's in there. That's
'Cause
just stuff I've gone back through like census records and pulled
Yeah.
off.
yeah, 'cause I remember we haven't had a Dolly Nail.
Wasn't Dolly, wasn't that Granddaddy's mom?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That's
Now,
who Mama said was mean. Mama said she was mean.
And she was too.
yeah. See,
I
Bucky's
can
nice.
set you up with your email address so you
Oh.
can get to that. and
Oh.
look at it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
here. That's a nice laptop. Here, let me give you that back. I don't want to break it. Looks like an expensive one. You got you want to open up your email? I'll give you my email address.
Y'all have to do that, but I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a big education here. My sons are, help me with that. I have this, I bought a brand new computer, paid $800 for it, and it wouldn't even run a little video.
Uh-oh.
My old computer would do, that all day long. And so I couldn't get any help from Hewlett HP. Then my son comes along and says, "Oh, I think you just got a setting problem. It's fixed."
And it's fixed, yeah.
I said, "How do you know that?"
Yeah.
But I was just
And that was like when we were at Daddy's, when the kids were little, he got him a computer, and I didn't know anything about computers. And he was trying to get his time changed on it or something reset, and Michael fixed it for him. I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you know how to do that? And he was like 3rd grade or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, good Lord.
Oh yeah, I was tickled at my granddaughters. I had one that was like 3 years old, and they would hand her the phone, and she would want to watch a video. So she'd find a video she'd want to watch, so she'd poke it and then she'd turn it sideways.
Oh yeah, oh
So
yeah.
you knew exactly what to do at 3 years old.
Oh, it's good with those things. It's like, oh Lord.
That's crazy. I think it's like they were born with it or
Yeah.
something. You ready, Lamar?
Yeah.
It's new NEW West WEST photo PHOTO at yahoo.com, and that's Michael Smith. Be good enough. Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike. That's right.
Yeah, that would be good because I got a lot of stuff.
You gotta be careful with that DNA stuff though, because a friend of mine, her son found out he had a daughter that he knew nothing about.
Oh,
He was in service, and I don't know if he was over in England or the girl from England was over here. They had a one-night stand. She found out later she was pregnant. Didn't know him. Didn't know how to get in touch with him.
yeah.
And the daughter ended up, I guess when she turned 21, did a DNA thing, found out her DNA matched my friend's sister, and anyway, they did some other, so my friend did a DNA test, and it matched her too, and so
You gotta
he
watch out.
found out he had a daughter he had no clue about.
Well, yeah, I wonder how many kids I got running around.
So it's
I
like-
wasn't always the most
Yeah,
nice person.
so I mean, you know, it's
Coming
like,
up.
oh, you gotta be careful when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
you know, I never really even thought about that until that happened to them.
yeah.
So,
Well, I've seen that, it happened in movies and stories
Yeah.
and stuff. I just recently watched one. This girl's Scottish, and she fell in love with American GI, and she was gonna go move to America, and she finally decided she couldn't leave her village. But guess what? I bet you she was pregnant, but they
Yeah.
didn't get that far.
yeah,
But that can happen.
yeah.
Santa Ana, California. That was a beautiful state at one time.
Yeah, it was. And now it's a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess. Well, I can't understand anybody would let people poop on the
Street.
sidewalk. Yeah,
I know.
street. They should
No.
never allow that, but oh well. Yeah, that Lamar, I just got interested in that genealogy, and
Yeah.
my wife's got them going back to King Charlemagne,
Oh.
1300s.
Well, Daddy's got it. He's started some, and he's found somebody that's got part of ours, and I think ours goes back to like the 1500s, right?
Oh, that's good. Well, I said that's what I'm trying to get pulled together, is
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
So.
'Cause
And
we
it's
got,
interesting. He's
yeah.
got books like this thick of
Yeah.
all of it. And
Yeah.
he'll sit down. Daddy will be 90 this month, and so he wants you to sit down, look at them books over and over and over.
yeah. Well,
But that's what he likes.
yeah.
Messing with it.
I got a big help. I got it's a guy in Georgia. Put together, I think it was 6 volumes of genealogies in that area down there.
Oh wow.
So I got a lot of my ancestors out of that book,
Oh wow.
but it had a lot of holes in it, and of course, there was a. I think Dolly Nell. Haven't found much on Mama's side of the family. It's kind of like it just goes a little ways and just dies
Yeah.
out. So that's why I'm interested in what Lamar's got done there. Yeah, I've been trying to do research on that and hadn't. I've had a little bit of breakthrough with my heritage that I've got some of granddaddy's, your dad's side of the family some now, but it was a dry hole for a long time.
Yeah.
It was just like, you ain't finding out nothing, boy.
And I think Uncle Jack had started doing some of that, hadn't he? Long time, good before he died.
He'd started it, but
I don't think he got
nobody-
very far.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've been trying to. Shirley's been trying to do something, and I don't know if she's got her stuff lost or filed away somewhere and doesn't know where it is, but she was doing a lot of that kind of stuff too, and I wanted to
how
talk
old is
to her.
Shirley now?
How old is Shirley? I think she's 83, if I remember
Oh, wow.
correctly. She's not quite caught up with your mom, but she's
Yeah.
getting there.
There?
She's got some health issues. She's got a little bit of vertigo,
Oh, okay.
and so she has to be careful.
Yeah.
I got to tell you a story about her husband George. I kept thinking every day he was going to die, but year after year he would keep living,
Yeah.
And I went to last time I visited him, and he was, he was in this recliner and it laid out pretty flat, and he was laying there with his eyes closed. It didn't even look like he was breathing. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I came all this way just to sit here and watch him die. But he woke up after a while and got up.
Oh my goodness.
But he had me scared to death. I was really, oh no, he's gone and died on us. But he lived for a long time even after that, and I'm not surprised he went when he did, but he had lots of health issues, but man, he kept on going.
Yeah.
But
NWWEST photo at yahoo.com.
yeah, it's New West Photo.
All right, it's sent an invite, so.
Oh, good deal. Thank you, sir. And I'll do the same for you.
Okay.
You'll have your email address there, and I'll do one for you.
Well, I sent you an email.
Good deal. Thanks. Yeah,
So you'll have it.
I'm sure that they will have a way for me to get some information to you off of my heritage too. Yeah, it's nice seeing somebody else in the family doing genealogy. So I got started, in the Mormon religion. I went to that church for a while, but that's a big thing with them doing the genealogy. And I got started with them, and then of course we left the church. But
Y'all left the Mormon church?
pardon?
You left the church?
Yeah, we left the Mormon church.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was more like they just didn't like some of the attitudes that I had, so we just kind of parted company.
Well, that's all right.
But no, I still, I don't have anything against the church.
Yeah.
They're fine people. Some of my good neighbors are all Mormons, and
Yeah.
we get along real well. But that's where I got started with genealogy.
Okay.
So I've been started up my 4 generation charts. And,
Yeah.
I got to fill in. See, I got all your family I need to fill in, and your kids and grandkids, and I need all that stuff. And
Okay.
I guess I'll get that from tomorrow now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can tie in and get Daniel's kids. I would see.
Yeah.
Ishmael's got a daughter that's about 5 or 6 years old. And I don't know if they'll have any more children. They didn't really want to have the one.
Oh.
They got caught by surprise on
There
her.
you
But
go.
she is such a doll. I'm glad that they had her.
Yeah.
And let's see, that's all the kids I got right now. Enix, not even seeing he died. I know he likes girls, so there's a possibility he may get married and have kids later on. Michael likes just one girl, but I don't know if they're going to have kids.
Yeah.
Eventually. She's a nurse, intensive care nurse of some sort,
Oh, okay.
and she works 12-hour shifts.
That's a tough shift,
Yeah,
especially intensive care.
Yeah, so she's real good at her job, but she's got a big schedule.
Yeah.
They bought a house for $400,000,
Oh, wow.
and that's not that unusual in our valley now.
Oh, wow.
And it's not quite as big as this house, but it's got this basement and upper story and big deck on the back. But our house that I'm living in, Robin's mother bought it for about like $50,000. It's worth about $250,000 now.
Oh, wow.
That's how much it's gone up since
Yeah.
we bought it.
Yeah.
But there's like people from California who figured out they wanted to move to Utah. They could buy a mansion for what they paid for just nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was telling Robin, says if we move back to Georgia, we could live in a mansion, for
Oh,
what
yeah.
this house is worth.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they sold, there's a little brick house, not even half a mile up the road on the right. It had 2 bedrooms, I don't even think it had 2 baths. It's right across from Ricky and Lisa's house. And the people that lived in it, both of them died last year, and somebody ended up buying it. And I think they made the porch into another, or the little carport used to be, and they closed them, but I think they tried to make that into another bedroom.
Mhm.
And they sold that house. That house probably ain't 1,200 square feet, you think, Lamar? They sold it for right at $300,000.
Mm.
There's another house on around the corner where we came that roundabout. There was a white house that sits off the road. He's got 4 acres. And last summer, he bought that house and those 4 acres for $450,000. He put it on the market in January for $850,000.
Wow.
I don't know if he got that for it, but what he's trying to do is he's trying to make that 4 acres into a little mini subdivision. Is what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be, gosh, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
You'd make a lot of money off of that.
Yeah, he would. But the subdivision would be, I don't know, it couldn't be more than 4 acre lots.
Yeah,
So,
that's not. Now, we live right next door to a cow pasture
yeah,
and a goat farm.
that's all right.
The goat, no, well, the cows are not too bad. The goats are further south, thank goodness. But it was just an open field when we moved there, and then we had a neighbor build his house right behind ours. And we just, weren't too happy because we used to have this open field, now there's a house there.
Yeah, yeah.
But he turned out to be the nicest neighbor we ever had.
Well,
He was always giving us eggs, and he would always help the kids with 4-H, and the kids would go over there and help him feed the animals. And
yeah.
he was a super nice fella, and he's about like your mom's age. He's still getting around doing stuff. But that was a centennial farm, and it means that it was back around in the 1800s when it was started. And so that's why it's called a centennial farm.
Yeah.
But they got plans on making that into a subdivision when he dies, and that house is vacated.
It's like,
Yeah. And if somebody's going to make a killing off of that.
yeah, well, there's 1, 2, 3 subdivisions within less than half a mile of us that's gone in the last 3 years right up here.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh my Lord.
Oh, there you go. There's some marijuana.
Yeah.
Right out there in the open. I thought they usually did that up in the mountains where they would blend in with the other foliage. Yeah, I saw a little video on a guy who had Parkinson's, and he was, like this,
Yeah.
and they let him smoke a little bit of a joint, and he would look normal right after he smoked that.
I
But
doubt
it does have some sort of qualities for people with brain disorders.
I don't mind it being for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't mind that at all. Of course, to me, not that I'm a big proponent, I don't want it to be legalized as far as other than medication.
Yeah.
But what's the difference in that and alcohol?
Oh yeah. I mean, why is alcohol legal and everything else illegal?